Alright, so this is life of Boobie, right? I just found this fact interesting, right? And y'all can look it up for yourselves if you don't believe me. Females hold the larger depth in society, right? And in general. And I find that interesting because I think it's the nature and how women are easily influenced is what creates the depth for themselves, right? Females are the larger consumers of everything. Out of males and females, women consume more because they're more easily influenced by society's standards, society's expectations, their peers, other females. So females are more easily influenced, and that's why they consume the larger depth, right? Here's an example. All you see on TV is makeup ads. Makeup, you gotta look pretty, you gotta do your eyelashes, you gotta do your hair, right? You have to meet a certain standard based on what society says you meet. And then females that would target their insecurity, right? And they'll buy into that. One of the leading businesses and corporations is cosmetics. $1 billion industry. So they capitalize off of women's insecurities for them to buy makeup, the fake hair, put the nails on top of nails, put the eyelashes on top of eyelashes, put color on top of color for your face. If you're a dark-skinned woman, you want to be light-skinned, you know, and that's why women consume a larger level of depth, because they're more easily influenced. I think what society does, and they do a really good job at it, and women feed on other women and pry on other women too. They take what wasn't an insecurity, they're turning it into a insecurity, and they're capitalized off of it, right? Look at women in the 90s. Women in the 90s were all natural. Natural hair, you know, they didn't really wear makeup. They was more comfortable in their own skin. Look at women today. Women can't go outside without makeup. Women can't go outside without putting hair on top of hair. Women can't go outside in their natural state because they don't even like themselves, because society said, hey, look, we're gonna make something that wasn't an insecurity, turn it into an insecurity, and capitalize off that insecurity, and now you become our product. And women don't realize that. And women are fed the delusion so much that they'll attack you for even mentioning that. When a man says, I want natural beauty, a woman will say, nope, you can't handle a real woman. That's just what a woman is. And I think a lot of the time it's like, too, when it comes to like the economical standpoint, women are the larger consumer of depth because they emotionally spend. They emotionally spend, right? And they'll follow what society tells them, or they'll follow what the next person closest to them tells them, or they'll follow everything else emotionally before they make rationally decisions when it comes to finances, right? Impulsive. I want to get this Birkin bag, right? I want to get this. I can't afford it, right? So either I'm going to find somebody else to get it for me, or I'm going to put myself in a compromising position financially to get this, just so I can meet a standard, so I can feel good about myself, and really is my validation that I'm seeking from everybody around me. This Birkin bag makes me more valuable. I get the acceptance of society based on my appearance and the things that I buy. I think you can get a woman to buy anything if you just make her feel insecure. I think you can get a woman to buy anything if you make her feel like she's competing with the next woman. I think women compete with other women. And that's why they put themselves in fucked up financial situations. And a lot of the time, too, impulsive nature, right? A lot of women struggle financially because their ego and their insecurity ties that into them making bad decisions, right? Baby mama, for an example, lived in a stable household. I took care of her, right? Then I had to pay no bills. Then I had to worry about food. Then I had to worry about driving. Then I had to worry about nothing. Ego, right? Well, I want control. I want to show him I don't need him. So I'm going to go put myself in a shelter, or I'm going to get a room that I can't afford, and I'm going to put myself in financial binding predicaments so I can prove to him to feel good about myself and then put myself in a fucked up situation. Or a lot of women who say, okay, I'd rather have a career over the man. So what a career entails is going to school, accumulating debt. So instead of saying, okay, cool, I'll just be a good woman so I can find a good man to give me a soft, easy lifestyle and I can be happy with my family, women go, I want to compete with the man based on some type of internal trauma, or based on maybe the woman in their life saying you don't need a man or whatever. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go into corporate America. I'm going to put myself in thousands of dollars in debt, going to college, accumulate this debt, working a job, right now being more focused on the job than I am in a man, right? And make that my career. And then when I get old and I realize that doesn't work, I'm gonna be miserable because I can't attract a man because I spent my younger years chasing my ego or chasing my desire to be independent or all these other things. I don't really think independence is really a flex for women, honestly. I feel like it's a detriment to themselves. Because ideally, if you look at it, like male and female, like males, we want to take care of our women. We want that family. There was a time we wanted marriage. We took great pride in, okay, I'm going to marry a woman who's dependent on me. And because she's dependent on me, that's going to help me to step up and give her more things because, I just want to take care of my woman and make her happy. Right? That's naturally what it is. And women will go, I want a man to take care of me and give me the good things in life. Right? But I'm going to take care of that man. But I'm going to put this with dating with Boobie, actually, right? The roles are reversed. Now, women want the man role, but they also want the benefit of being a woman. I guess, in that sense. I don't see why it's so wrong to be dependent on a man. That means that you trust that man and you got a good man. A lot of women, have trust issues with men. And I think that's why they want their independence. Because they're in survival mode. I think the most strongest thing, women have power when they're in a relationship with a man who can lead. Because that woman was able to find a man to sacrifice his own time and his money to take care of her while she stays home. That's a flex. But women be like, I want to be the man. I want to make all this money. I want to be independent. But then you say that, and then you still want a man to pay your bills and take you out and give you this lifestyle. But then you want the authority of a man, but the responsibility of a child. I don't understand that. I don't. And then I realized too, is just like, women, when it comes to finances, I'm not talking shit. Right? I've just noticed a pattern. I've been around the block a few times, right? A lot of women would justify their purchases by I feel. A lot of the time. So they put themselves in emotional debt financially. Or financial debt emotionally. Like I that was pretty at that moment. And they don't really keep track of all those pretty little things that you have accumulated. My baby moms, right? That story, that $2 sale, right? That I put into the house. Because I was holding her shit. That $2 sale. Mind you, I'm paying her $1,500 in child support, right? Every month. Her rent was $600. That's a $900 surplus. When I had to keep some of her stuff and shit like that, whatever, I looked through all her stuff. All of that is hair products, is nail products, is old clothes. It's all this unnecessary stuff with years of extra income. And then even if you would have put $400 away for a certain amount, you would have bought a car. That's a down payment on a house. That's thousands of dollars in savings. Like, there's so many things that were more beneficial than the emotional, impulsive spending that you have done for yourself. Because it didn't even go towards my daughter. My daughter still wears the same clothes that I got her. There's nothing new to that. So it was like selfish. But it's not only just selfish. It was irresponsible spending, I guess. And I'm not saying males don't do it as well. There's some males that do. But I'm saying a majority of women, because if you look at it, the statistics, a majority of women are in debt. There's more women in debt than males in debt. And then if you look at why they're in debt, is because their emotions control their spending. There was a video a woman put up. She was like, she made I think she made like $7,000 to $8,000 a month. I think it was like $7,500 a month. And then she was explaining how she broke down her finances, right? And then why she's broke. She was like, rent, because she owns a condo, $2,200 to $2,500. Right? That was an emotional thing. That was a lifestyle. I want to have a better lifestyle, but I don't want to live in my means. Right? Because there's other places cheaper. Right? Cool. And then she was talking about hair, $500, nails, $200. So now it's more again, lifestyle, right? And it's not about prioritizing where your money should go. It's how you feel and how you want to feel rather than what's necessary. And I think that's the difference between men and women. When men grow up, and a boy and a man, and men and women, right? A boy does what he wants to do. A man does what he needs to do. A woman always does what she wants to do, right? That's the difference. She does what she feels like she wants to do. She does what she feels. Emotional, right? Boys are emotional, right? Men, fuck your emotions. What's necessary is necessary. We'll deal with everything else in the back end. We just got to put in the work for it. Women, I feel like I want to look pretty today. I'm going to just spend a whole bunch of unnecessary money. A lot of the time. I'm going to make emotional, impulsive decisions financially to buy things I know I can't afford. And don't take my word for it. Just look at the numbers yourself. You know, the larger consumer of debt, women. I find that curious. Like, I find that a little fascinating a lot of the time. If you can get a woman to buy anything, all you have to do is trigger an insecurity. You're fat, but hey, I got this weight losing pill for you right here. $400 is yours. You ugly. I got this makeup for you, baby. You're gonna look pretty, right? You too dark. Don't worry about it, right? We got bleaching for you. Your titties hang. What? Nope. Don't worry about your titties, babe. We got the Brazilian titty lift. Your ass is too flat. Don't worry about it, babe. We got the Brazilian butt lifting super surgery. Stomach too big. Don't worry about it. I can sell you this liposuction. Right? And so all you have to do is trigger an emotion in women to get them to buy anything. Your clothes are Walmart clothes? No, now they don't want Walmart clothes. They want Prada. Now they're going into things that they can't afford. And a lot of the time, men suffer for that because with women's insecurities and what they can't buy, they just find a man to buy it for them. I can't afford it for myself, so I find a rich man to buy it for me, and that gives me my value. I think it's a little twisted there, a little cynical. I know I'm going to be called sexist for this one. But, hey, dating with Boobie, life with Boobie, it falls somewhere in that category. Yo, follow my YouTube page. I got 138 subscribers. I need 1,000 to start getting paid for it. Now, if I start getting paid from this YouTube thing, right, anybody who comes to the podcast, I will hit you off for 50% of whatever I get back off that video. I feel like that's fair. That's smart business. But follow my page. Life of Boobie.